Yo, what's up, KJ? Yeah, it's royalty-free background noise, essentially. Get started here, everybody, in just a few minutes. So some more people hop in here. Yo, what's up, everybody? We'll get started here in just 1 second. All right, so welcome everybody to day 2 of our homeschool series. So somebody in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me okay. If I need to turn the music down. I was just going to kind of cover what we went over yesterday to see if anybody had any questions about that. If you have any questions while we're doing this, please just drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them as we go along. All right, so let's get started. So yesterday we did the brickwork. We did the base. We installed the magnets, and we did the rock. We drew the base out. I'm going to move Gomez out of the splatter zone. And we made a rock. So today, and I did nothing else on this. I had delusions of grandeur, and didn't get anything done last night on it. So we're just going to start today. So what I want to do is carve out the depth here a little bit of our brickwork to use some of this spackle here as grout for those bricks. It really adds a level of realism to it. Sorry, got a phone call that I need to send a text about. Isn't that the world we live in? Let me send a text about the phone call. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do some painting, black base coat painting. I don't know if we'll get the colors today or not, but first thing we got to do, we're going to take this apart and throw that up there. Oh, and I made some more rocks. I did do that today. I made some more rocks. So 2 bigs, 2 littles, stack them if you want, whatever. But we'll work on those. Don't need that at this exact second. Okay, so if you're going to add the grout, obviously you have to make more depth here. There's several ways you can do it. You can use a machine like I typically do. But I'm going to show you guys how you can do this stuff without a bunch of power tools. So not using the machine on this today. So you can use a foam cutter or a hot knife, and you can burn this out if you like. That's you have to be very, very careful doing that. Or you can go through it all with a knife, which there's one. You can go through it all with a knife and open it up, and then run like something like an awl through it, and that'll give you some depth you can work with. So what we're going to do is do that, and then we're going to add some texture to it, like we did yesterday with the rocks. We're going to use our trusty foil ball and lava rock that I think I got from a Burger King parking lot, maybe. I don't know. And then we're going to base coat black, and then we will use the grout to do the grout work. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started here with the knife. I am going to use a ruler just to make sure that I don't completely destroy this stuff. I'll probably do freehand on the ups and downs, but for these long cuts, I'm going to do this. And I can tell right now this blade is dull, so I'm going to change it. Oh, quarantine pack survival kit is always going to be a new sharp razor. And if anybody wants to know today, I use the number 11 X-Acto blades. It's the one I like. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. I'm sure they all do the job pretty well. There's a brand new fresh one. I'm going to try not to maim myself with it. All right. Yeah, buddy, it just glides right through. Just glides right through. I am just going to freehand these because I can see better what I'm doing. Kind of use my pinky over here as a guide to help me steer the ship a little bit. Now, I could have just gone straight to this step and not drawn it out, but I just thought it would be better to show you guys what you were looking at with a pen than just have it where you couldn't really see with the blade. All right. Slowly but surely. I had a question on Instagram about windows and doors and how to make windows and doors. I usually use pre-made ones if I'm doing, something that requires moving windows. I have one time made a working window. I made it out of PVC. it didn't end up even working out for the project that I had. My collector group I'm involved in, the Realm of Collectors, is doing a photo challenge, and the theme is, I think it's staying home, or something like that. So I want to create. I've done it before. I just don't have one here. I want to create some sort of living environment, like a living room or something like that. I have some really cool furniture that my buddy E. Prime made me some couches and whatnot, and my buddy Diorama Mayhem Jason Young did some office furniture for me that I'd also like to try to incorporate into that somehow. So that's something I'll probably be doing windows and doors for in the relatively near future. What's up, Nidorin, MAG, KJ Smith? Appreciate you guys checking out the awesome work. Hopefully everybody had a good day today and stayed happy and healthy, and hands got washed. Had to venture out today for just a little bit, and it's amazing how obtuse some people seem to be to the situation. I'll just say that. So once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm just running a blade through what we did yesterday on the brickwork, because we're going to do the spackle to this wall. So I just wanted to be able to add some quick depth to it. You can also use a Dremel to do this, but not everybody has a Dremel or a rotary tool. You know, that Walmart sells some pretty decent ones. I for a long time would go to Harbor Freight and buy like the $12 ones and use them until they burn out. Actually, probably have one of those around here still somewhere. But I actually bought a pretty decent Dremel last year. It's a cordless one, but doesn't have a lot of power. But for what I do with this stuff, it works pretty well. Yeah, MAG says he used a sharp pencil. I've used a pencil before and a pen as well. And well, this sharp blade goes through so quick, I thought I'd already run this line. So I've done this several ways. When I've done bigger bricks before and actually cut kind of a V out of the notch here. It's gonna be a little harder to do that with this because these bricks are so small, more on an actual 12th scale than what I used to do. I used to do bigger bricks because I guess I was kind of lazy about it. But I think smaller bricks obviously look to be a lot better. I haven't quite decided if this is going to be like a blown up wall with a big chunk missing out of it, or just a street scene. Might ask you guys to help me decide that. Once again, this project's going to be giving all the horizontal. Go through and do the little ones here. Hey, make sure you give us a thumbs up, guys, if you're hanging out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us this afternoon. And share this if you feel it's worthy to any of your friends that you think might be interested that I did not reach. I probably should have done this off camera because this is incredible. So hopefully you're getting something out of it. I think this is going to be a kind of messed up wall. I think it'll be some battle damage to it, but we'll see. Do you guys know Bob Ross did like 3 or 4 of every painting that he did on TV? He did one beforehand, he did the one on TV, and then he did one afterwards. And they're just basically locked in a storage building, sitting there. Very weird. I like watching Bob Ross a lot. So exciting. So exciting. Make sure I find my spot here. This actually won't take too terribly long. I'm pretty quick with it. Did I do that one? Still hard to tell. Can't tell if I did this line or not. I think I did. All right, so that means I need to run the awl through some of it just to see here. And this is an awl. It is just a sharp, pointy thing. They come in like miniature screwdriver sets sometimes. Let's see here, Alex. Yeah, so just to recap, I'm just running the blade through the lines here because we're gonna do the grout today using this stuff, the Spackle. So I just wanted to add a little bit of depth to the cuts there. Well, I actually hadn't cut it yet, so just so the grout has somewhere to go. Now I'm just using the awl in these spaces here, and it's creating a gap. There we go. Just mainly want to do it so I can see where the hell I've done. All right, got it. Got my royalty-free jams playing in the background. Hopefully it stays that way and YouTube doesn't decide to send me a nasty gram. Nasty YouTube bastards. Yeah, the NECA Bob Ross Nidoran, it is out. I've actually seen it at Target. It's $40, and for some reason that just seems like too much money for it. So I haven't picked it up. I have seen it several times. At Target mostly. Maybe at GameStop too. I don't get in Target very often, but the past couple times I have been in the Target, it has been available. Yep, so I'm just cutting these notches out so I have somewhere to put the spackle. My hand's cramping. Now I remember why I bought a machine to do bricks. It's all right. Almost halfway done. Hey, Nidoran, I did see also that Rosario Dawson is apparently playing Ahsoka in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Which I didn't really see that coming at all. Her being involved, any Ahsoka even being in the story there. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to see that. And I guess that confirms that she survived. And that comes out, I believe, in October. So that'll be awesome to see that. Maybe we'll get some other characters from the past that fit into that timeline. Maybe Sabine. I think that would probably kind of fit in. What's up, Sam? What's up? I'm going to say Jesus. Is that right, Jesus? I mean, I'll call you Jesus if you want me to. All right, getting there. Wow, this guy is very vulgar. Yeah, having a sharp blade here really makes a difference. If you don't have a sharp blade, it's going to really tear more than it cuts, and that's the last thing you want when you're doing something like this. We're almost there, guys. Only 2 more rows. Let me rest my hand for a minute. Let's see here. Hey, KJ, I guess I do have a Bob Ross vibe going on. I don't have the fro. Got a hat on today, though. Sam, you're going to love The Mandalorian. It's really good. And I do also need to watch the new episode of Clone Wars. What's up, Super Mario Zilla? Welcome to the party, pal. All right. Almost there. Boy, and I'll tell you guys, this is not straight at all. God bless everybody who makes this by hand and can cut a straight line. Because I ain't that dude, apparently. All right, we are finishing this up, and then we get to run through all of it again with the awl to open it up before we paint it black. So, or before we finish carving it out. So there we go. You can see there's a little bit more depth in there. But what we're going to do now is use the awl again. This is you could also use a pin. A pin cap would probably work well. You can use, you find the right kind of paintbrush, you can use the paintbrush. Pretty much any sharp object that's not going to tear, you can use. So we're going to do the uprights first. Let me figure out the best way to do this. Once again, this is not something that can be screwed up. And I like to do the uprights first because if you go over any, which you pretty much always do, you can fix it by doing the horizontals. Could have sworn I muted my phone, but I guess I didn't. There's a lot of people doing content right now to keep yourself busy. My guy D Amazing has got some really cool videos up on posing and things of that nature. So if you're watching me do this because you take toy photography, or you do toy photography rather, go check that video out. My guy Bobby Skullface has some cool stuff up about Star Wars and Transformers. You can go check him out as well. Realm of Collectors channel, we do a show on Monday. There's a show Tuesday and Friday. Ton of content on there about I guess 6 years worth of stuff you can check out on there, and you get to see my smiling face saying silly things. So If you need to pass some time, there's a lot of cool content from some, we'll say, independent creators available on YouTube right now. So make sure you go check out those guys, gals, and channels. Shout out to the Total Package Podcast is another one, and the Nerds Have Spoken, Masterpiece, MPSP Theater. I'm not gonna try not to cuss on this channel. They're actually on the Realm of Collectors channel tonight, I believe around 9. So pop in and check them out. A bunch of guys that are no doubt talking about current events. But yeah, it's a pretty cool group of people we've put together. Just overall friends and family is what I like to call it. MAG, D does like his stuff, man. He does like his stuff. But you know what? Sometimes it's good to just have that positive vibe about stuff. I like most stuff. It's like I like most things that I mess with. I just, pretty much don't like them. Let me ask you guys this in the chat. What was the last figure you bought that was just super disappointing for you? I'm interested to see. I have one, and those of you that know me probably know what I'm talking about. But what was the last figure you bought that you were excited about getting? When you got it, you're like, either this is a piece of junk or this is not what I thought it was going to be. Just sound off in the chat. I'd love to hear you guys stories about figure woes. Oh, I'm on another podcast called Nerd Rage Radio. That's going to be on your favorite streaming platform. That's Bobby Skullface, myself, and Joe KW. Basically bullshitting for 2 or 3 hours, sometimes talking about news and whatnot. But it's a fun time. It's a fun time for sure. So make sure you check that out. We're part of the Cool Table Network. It's a bigger group of shows. Of course, off the top of my head, I probably can't rattle them all off, but check out the Cool Table Network on Facebook. There's a ton of content available there. There's a Lego based show, one about Beast Wars Transformers, if that's what you're into. There's a music show. There's all sorts of stuff. So get on there and check them all out. We are getting close, ladies and gents. So tedious, but it's worth it. It's worth it. That's what I keep saying. It's worth it. Hey, Nighter, yeah, practice makes perfect, man. That's all you got to do, keep on grinding on anything you do. If you just try to learn something new once a week, if you learn one new thing a week about your hobby or whatever you're trying to get better at. My skill set is a lot of stuff I've seen other people do combined, along with a little bit of my spin on it. I didn't come up with the majority of this stuff. I've just done it enough where I'm pretty decent at it. Yeah, Jesus, a lot of people have found me through The Amazing. We've done a lot of work together and continue to do a lot of work together. My wife is around the corner in the shop here with her headphones in, watching, I don't know, some anime. I'm working on something for The Amazing as we speak. I'm not sure if we can show that or not. I need to ask him. Because sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. I want to spoil the fun. No, that one didn't cut very well. That'd be all right. Yeah, we'll fix it in post, as they say. Let's see. I know the delay kind of sucks here, but what did you guys say about your toys? So Mario's, let's see, SH Monster Arts Mothra Special Color Variation. That whole set was a piece of stuff. Made a review raging at it. I hear you on that. Jesus says this SHF PS4 Spidey. Shoulders weren't great. MAG says Batman figure and Red Hood DC collectibles. I think it's called the Batman that had a smirk. The Batman who laughs. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of DC collectible stuff. It looks great, but I mean, I think it's articulation wise, I think it leaves a lot to be desired. I really do. Oh, Nighter in. Let's see here. The Foot Soldier from NECA. It looked good. It wasn't really that great. Yeah. Yeah, man. NECA stuff is hit or miss. Some of it's so good and some of it's so questionable. But they can sculpt some stuff. Definitely can sculpt some stuff. All right, so now I'm gonna run the horizontals here. Let's see. Yeah, we're really starting to show some depth in this now. I think you can really see it's starting to kind of come to life down there at the bottom. And I'm just pulling this all through this these cuts I made on the lines we drew yesterday. So Sam's talking about MP Bumblebee in the chat. I don't even think I've seen that in person. I'm not really in the Transformers game anymore, although I am privy to all the stuff that's coming out. And these past few Takara releases just seem to kind of miss the mark. The Bumblebee was great. The Hound is, I don't know if people, the Hound seemed to just kind of come and go. And was it Leo Convoy? No, is it Leo Convoy the last one that came out? Yeah, I've heard it's not great. But what do I know? I don't collect Transformers anymore. They hurt my hands to play with. You gotta do this. That's really the reason I quit collecting Transformers. It's because I couldn't transform them anymore. My hands got all knotted up. I do kind of regret selling my Fans Toys down a box, but I guess if I really wanted them, I could buy them again. Probably buy them back from who has them, truth be told. If I ask him nicely. Okay. Bricks. Bricks, 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 bricks. Hey, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. If you're hanging out, I'd appreciate it. All right, so we're going to start out and add some texture to this. Got my trusty aluminum foil ball here. I've also got my, is this a pipe of some kind, somebody said? All right. So basically, we're just going to roll this over here, the top and the bottom. So the bottom, we're going to finish the bottom like a concrete finish, and up here will be multicolor bricks, however we decide to do it. So just get busy rolling them in, and you can see immediately the texture is adding in. No right or wrong way to do this. You don't have to do all of it. You can do some of it. Press harder in some spots if you want than others. It's really starting to add the texture now. Jeremy B, what's up, man? Jeremy B is my news hound for Enter the Realm on Monday nights. He is such a kind-hearted fellow that pulls all the action figure news for the segment I do on Enter the Realm Monday nights on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today, Jeremy. EE Prime, what's up, dude? I was talking about your furniture earlier. I'm going to be using it soon in a photo. The Realm of Collectors Photo Challenge. Staying home is the theme. Figure since I pitched the theme, I should participate. So gives me an excuse to build something. So can't be mad at that. So I think you can see how this is activating now. It's looking pretty good. No real technique here. I'm just kind of rocking this back and forth. Jeremy B getting to work from home. Yeah, it doesn't seem. I don't think we're gonna have much of a choice pretty soon. But welcome to the at-home army, the homeschool army, as we're calling it here. All right. Okay. There we go. There's our textured bricks. Getting there, getting there. I'm going to run the awl back through some of this because it's just not as open as I'd like. Yeah, it'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to use the lava rock on the bottom just to give it a little bit of differentiation. I guess that's how you say it. And you don't have to do it as much down here. You can kind of do it as little as you want or as much as you want. Let's rotate your piece around. Use some different sides of the piece. Your lava rock or whatever rock you're using. People glue pebbles to sticks and use them. But I think that's probably good. Maybe a little too consistent. Let me. All right, there we go. Got to do some of these sides. They're a little too. I don't know. I don't like the sides of it. But we're gonna our bottom piece. I'm gonna just do some light texturing. And actually, I'm gonna line it out real quick while we're here. All right, so we'll go through this the same way. There we go. That's a lot more defined now, right? What's up, Cliff Jacker? Been jacking some cliffs lately, Cliff Jacker. All right, so we got to figure out now what we want to do with this. And we want to add a whole lot of damage to it. We want to add a little bit of damage to it. How do we want to approach that? I do want to use my knife and cut some of this edge off. So I'll do that with my trusty Harbor Freight 59-cent box blades, which works surprisingly well for stuff, mainly because you can do this with it. Don't do this at home, kids. This is probably not a great idea to show y'all, but here we are. You can also sand this stuff, and I'll probably hit it with the sander here in a second, or not, just a piece of sandpaper. Sorry, I was getting a sneak peek at something that wifey's working on across the room from me here. I broke down and bought her a light so she could see what the hell she was doing. All right, so cut that off. And this side has something similar on it. I'm going to trim this off as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be like you, E. I'm definitely not going to forget the size. And I always paint my sides and my backs, too. I know not everybody that builds does that, but it drives me bananas when people don't paint all their work. Because if you're paying me for a diorama, I think the last thing you want to see is pink construction foam when you get the project. So if you order something from Crashbox, you ain't going to see no pink. Unless you want it pink. Then we might just have to have a different conversation. Sam's throwing back with the Pinkerton approach, man. Boy. There was a time and a place for that vibe. I don't know where it is now, so I'm doing my best to try to keep this area neat. I don't know how well we're doing with that. Let's see here. I've got some 220 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to hit this edge with it. The Pinkerton approach still lives in the UK. Well, Sam, I appreciate you keeping the flag flying out there. So, Sam, in the UK, you guys got any toilet paper left? Can you send some over? Don't try this part at home, kids. Of course, I'm wearing a mask. Except I couldn't find one. All right. Got it blown off. Yeah, all the crazy people bought it up over here too. All right, so we're gonna we're gonna use our pattern and cut some bricks out. This wall is a little thick for it to have been brick. Realistically, it would have been a thinner material just to be a brick wall, but we're just gonna pretend. So we're gonna start, I don't know, right about here. Yeah, that'll work. All right, and we'll cut up and over. Once again, not a right way or wrong way to do this, just the way. You can actually leave like a brick poking out if you want. That actually looks cool when you can leave a brick poking out. Let's see how that comes out. All right. Let's see. Ooh. That's scary, isn't it? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Boom. There we go. broken off. You can go in and clean it up a little bit if you want. Make the bricks a little squarer on the back. So we talked a few minutes ago about your figure you've been disappointed with the most lately. What have you gotten lately that, like, what's your favorite purchase of the year figure-wise? Oh, I didn't tell you guys what my figure, that disappointment figure was. So I ordered that Mafex Amazing Spider-Man, like the comic version with the cell shading on it, and the wrist just literally fell apart. I was so mad about that. I actually threw that across the room. But Ami actually sent me whole new arms. I actually haven't even put them back on yet. But that was my disappointment. All right, I'm going to cut out this little piece here. So easy. I guess I could do it where you guys can see my left-handed tendencies over here. All right. And then we will cut out that one right there. All right. What do you guys think? Let's see. Bill Boyne, hello, welcome. Cliffjacker, no, this isn't for a specific figure. This is just a random project that we're doing, just to kind of show some techniques and whatnot. And just a reminder that this will be given away to one of you lucky folks. Probably do it the last time I work on work on this. We'll do some sort of giveaway. I'll figure out how to try to make it fair for everybody. Okay. So the thing you got to remember when you're doing this is this stuff can be very fragile. So try not to break it off while you're doing it. I'm going to take this little chunk out. It's kind of intended to do that as we were going here. All right, so we're going to take a break on this, and we are going to go ahead and put some base coat paint on our rocks here. So got two big ones and two little ones. Just kind of wanted to bounce back and forth through this stuff. And when you do the cutout, like if you do a cutout on a brick wall and you've already cut the brick, hang on to this because you can use this as a piece in a later project or maybe in this project in some capacity. So don't throw those kind of things away. Says the guy who has 1,000 things that he didn't throw away. All right, so we are going to get our paint tray here. This is something new. We've started using these paint trays. My wife Kelly found them somewhere. She's used them a lot. I haven't used them a whole lot, but I used them when we did the crates the other day. There's a video up on that if you haven't seen it, check it out. And they're pretty handy. So let's talk about paint. So this is black barrel. There's nothing special about this paint. You can get cheaper paint than this. I've found it, and it's garbage. I ordered some black acrylic off of Amazon. Oh my God, it was bad. It didn't stick. It didn't cover. I don't even know what it was. It was trash is what it was. So you can get really bad paint, but I like this paint. It's consistent. The only problem is that as the bottles get older, it kind of clumps up on you. Excuse me, knock some foam out of the way on the bottom here. But we are just going to use black. Some people thin this stuff down. I actually have a heater. I'm going to go turn on real quick, and I'm going to put this stuff in front of the heater when it's painted. That way we don't have to wait so long. Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. It's also due 30, so. Bill, I appreciate it. That is, it's brickwork for sure. I don't know. Some people may be happy with it. I'm happy with the ones the machines do now. You know, but that is a struggle to get it to look right. That's right. Patience and a metal ruler, E Prime. So we're going to do grouting here in a little bit. Not a Ren. So you picked up the vintage Mandalorian, the little one. That is a really good looking figure, I will say. All right. So this is Apple Barrel Black. Actually, I have to open it because it's a brand new bottle. I like buying the little bottles of paint because they don't tend to go bad as often. Especially, I airbrush with this stuff. I dilute it with actually, I think we used. Did we use alcohol? I think we used like 70% alcohol last time. That Mythic Hall piece was black base coated with this kind of paint and alcohol. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You can also use Windex. You use water if you add a little bit of the Liquitex compound to it. I mean, you can just use straight water also. Get a paper towel here because I am very messy. Okay, so, and we're going to paint these rocks black. That's not rocket science at all here. And I'm actually going to use this Lazy Susan to put these are also great for painting and whatnot. A Lazy Susan, let me wipe it off. When the world is back to be, these are like $5 maybe at IKEA. So it's literally like a turntable. They're great for painting. We use them for airbrushing or spray painting outside. It's got ball bearings and a wheel on the bottom. So I guess you're supposed to put it on your kitchen table so everybody can get to the ketchup or something. Not real sure. Let's pick out a brush. How about the one that's in front of us? That sounds like a great plan. Here's a brush. So we're just going to paint this stuff black indiscriminately. You don't have to base coat black. You can use grays or browns or whatever you want. But we're doing black today. And let me see here. Hey, that might work. Probably a little overkill, but I have these giant skewers. Shrimp on the Barbie, right? So now I can kind of hold this and paint it all the way around and go stick it in front of the heaters. I'm not going to paint the bottoms right now. They will be painted, but just for the sake of this exercise, I'm just going to paint everything but the bottoms so I can go sit them over here under the heater. There's one. And if you miss a spot or two, it's not the end of the world. Just try to get it into any crevices you have. Many people water down their paint when they do their base coat. Some people mix Mod Podge with it. I don't do that. I've never had a need to do that. Seems like a waste of Mod Podge to me. just like marshmallows, right? At the bonfire. Probably not that tasty though, I wouldn't imagine. What's up, Mandalore? We were talking about Mandalorians a few minutes ago. Spam on a stick, man. I don't think it's that bad yet, is it? If y'all are out there eating spam on a stick, we might need to reevaluate our collections. We'll be trading some damn Gomez's for some hot dogs before it's over with. All right. Okay. Let's do these little ones now. I don't know if I don't know if the little ones will even work. There we go. Yeah, my wife was cleaning out the pantry, or the food closet, as my youngest kid used to call it. And we had these skewers from where we had done marshmallows on a campfire a while back, and she was going to throw them out. And I said, yeah, don't throw it out. I'll find a way to use them. These would also be good for pipes or something on a diorama, or, you know, railings. You could do all sorts of stuff with these kind of things. And I got one more rock to go. Well, let me be more stabby. I should have done this early on, because these would have damn near been ready for some dry brushing, which is the key to all this magic stuff, is dry brush painting. Once you get your head around how to dry brush stuff, you can make anything look good. Okay, so those are all painted. We're going to just stick this over here because we'll end up using that in a few minutes when we do the black on the brick wall. Be right back. All right, we're back. So back to this guy, just as a review, anybody that's popped in, we added depth to our bricks, added texture to our bricks, cut this section out. So now I'm going to get a, so I have like 5 of these boxes under my workbench, and each one contains something vaguely related to each other. Like, this is all wooden stuff for the most part, and things you use on wooden stuff. So I've got wooden doors in here. Got these really cool double doors that I'm going to use on a project soon. I think these came from either Amazon or eBay. I've got some windows. So whoever was asking me about making that stuff, I don't make it. I sometimes will make stuff out of PVC. But the wood stuff, honestly, for the time it would take me to do it, I just use pre-made stuff. I don't know if that's bad or not. Okay, so getting in that, I needed to get this. This is called a skinny stick. They sell these at Walmart in the craft department, like with the they're with the popsicle sticks and that, you know, kind of wooden section there. So I'll show you what we're going to do with that. All right, so back to our wall here. So basically we're going to make a brick plate here. So we know we did these bricks at I believe it's 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to mark our skinny stick here at 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. And I've got some snips over here. And we are going to snip this off as straight as we can, which is not an easy thing to do. Man, that's tough. There we go. Oh, wow, that is, that's comically crooked. Look at that. No bueno. All right, I'm going to just cut this with the knife. I'll start from the other end. Hey, it doesn't always work right the first time. Sometimes you have to punt. Actually, you know what? I have a tool that is for this exact thing. Let me get it. I'll show it to you. Well, hey babe, have you seen my trim cutter, that blue handle V-shaped thing? Have you seen that my trim cutter, that little blue, you know what I'm talking about? What table? Huh? No, it's not that kind of tool. I know I'm a tool. All right. My wife called me a tool, everybody. All right. Well, I guess I won't show you that. I've got this really neat tool that's for cutting little dollhouse trim, and I can't find it. So anyways, I marked this. I'm just going to cut it with a knife now. Try to get it straight and not kill myself. Typical, right? Typical. All right. So the whole point in this exercise is to create a piece of wood that is the size of one of these bricks. Because what we're going to do, what can we use for this? Oh, that'll work. We are going to press down on this and make indentions in the brick right here. If you can see that or not, it's kind of hard to see. And you can do it repetitively to get it a little deeper, or you can dig them out also. I find this works rather well because bricks aren't always even. Just another way to add some more detail, texture to your brick wall. And you can just randomly do that. Just pick a spot and go for it. Do as many as you want or as few as you want. You can actually just press it with your hand if you really want to, but adding something that you can really push it in there, that helps out a lot as well. All right. So I did, I don't know, a handful of them. I guess you can see them there now, the way they're indented in. Yeah, so stir sticks from Starbucks work for this as well. If you if you want to buy a pack of them, you can get a lot of stuff. Like Wendy's puts little cups out for ketchup that are great for putting paint in. There's just not a Wendy's near me. All right. So now we got our wall kind of jacked up. We're gonna jack up our floor a bit now. This would be a super thick sidewalk or whatever, but for this exercise, it's fine. I would normally use probably like the thinner material for that, but this is just what was in front of me at the time. So we're going to use the we're going to use our aluminum foil here. Sorry, the word escaped me. I'm going to try to stay away from the edges to kind of give some definition to the lines. I think that'll look pretty neat when we get ready to start painting here in just a minute. And you don't have to go all the way to the back because you're going to be covering it up with the back piece anyways. All right. So now we're going to do a little bit of a battle damage, I guess, to this. We're essentially going to cut out some layers, especially on the corners here. Get this where you can see. So I'm going to just cut a chunk out and then just put my fingers in there and just pop it off. So now we've got a break there. And then you can grab the knife and then get some of these little edges here out. And then do the same thing. Just kind of break it off. Like so. You can see what we're going for there. And you can do it as far down as you want. Yep. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more on the front here, and where these where your lines are, where your trim lines are. You can go in like kind of at an angle, like that. You know, because if you ever really look at sidewalks, that kind of stuff happens right there on those lines. You can go in like a middle line here and just kind of pick at it. And this thing won't focus. And just kind of pick it out like this. We'll add some cracks in a minute. See? Like that. So if you ever see things that are damaged like this, a lot of the time, one side will be completely ruined and the other will be completely fine. Tornadoes tend to do that. There'll be a house that's it'll be a house that's gone, and the house next to it is, not a grass out of place. Once again, you're doing this kind of stuff. There's no wrong way to do it unless you're trying to like replicate something specific. And that when you start doing that, you have to be a little bit more precise about what you're doing. But you can definitely I don't think you can necessarily go overboard doing this, but you can maybe do too much sometimes. All right, so obviously we'd have some cracks here. Cracks are pretty straightforward. I just kind of move the knife around haphazardly, and I'm kind of shaking it the whole time too to add some little bit of vibrations. Once again, you can't really mess this up. It's funny to think about how many times I've Googled what cracks look like to try to get the patterns down. Once again, anybody in the chat has questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Do my best to answer them, whether it's about this project or life advice, hopefully not, or any of the other projects that we have done that you have questions about. So there's just one nice little crack there. I don't know if he's showing up very well. I'm gonna run the ink pen through it real quick. Who in the world is messaging me at this hour? It's after business hours. There we go. So nice crack right there. Just little things like that, you know, really pull some details out here. I'm gonna actually go back through here again. Open this back up, and I'm gonna put a little bit of damage on this end over here. Some haphazard damage. My goodness, what is going on in the world today? Let's take a break here. All right. Thanks everybody for watching today. New subscribers, I appreciate it. That's what some of those messages were, was new subscriber messages. So welcome. Kind of ignored this channel for about a year. A lot of the stuff I was doing, I couldn't talk about. I couldn't show. I didn't have time to film anything while I was doing it. So it's nice to have a little bit of a break from that, to be able to share some of the stuff we're doing. So, all right. Let me take that little piece out. And I kind of want to use this front edge a little more. I have a camera that I can adjust the and let's add some little cracks in here. And those are just not quite going to be touching the edge there. Run through them with a pin real quick to open them up. Take a little chunk out right there. All right. And then we'll go in here on the sidewalk and just pick a little bit out here and there on the cracks. Man, this is not focusing worth a flip today. Apologize about the focus. Let's see here. Boss in the Skies, what's up? Do I stream often? So I have in the past. I think there's not a ton of streams there. But honestly, I hate editing videos. I despise it. I'm not good at it. Like the one I put up doing the crates. Oh God, I about lost my stuff making that video. That was tough. There's nothing to it. It's just I'm so inept at it. My buddy Dan was helping me out for a while, but I know he's busy now. And a lot of the time when I get my mind on doing something, I just want to knock it out real quick anyways. I've gotten better at it. That one was easier than that last one I did, but live streams are easy. I just click go and, you know, people can watch it now or then. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this. And I plan to do this a lot while we're all at home. Gives me something to do, and obviously you guys hopefully will get something out of it, maybe learn some stuff. So there we go. I mean, you can go bananas on this, and I could pick at this all night and be happy doing it, but we don't have all night. So all right, so there's your texture on your base now. You put it together with the wall. And put Mr. Gomez on it. Here we are. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I am going to add a couple cracks and whatnot to the bricks, based on the fact that, you know, the wall's crumbling down. We'll pick out some pieces of the wall here as well. We are going to spackle, so the spackle will get in some of these cracks, which will look pretty cool. But you can also just pick that out too if you don't like the way it looks when you get done. Once again, just let it happen. Nothing major here that you're going to mess up or feel bad about later. Let's see. Bill, I tell you, I like doing damaged pieces and I like doing weathering because you can hide a lot of stuff through those processes. You know, even if it's something done with a machine, you may still not be happy with the way the finish came out or something. So I'm going to pop that brick out just because I don't like the way it looks. And why not pop that one out too? Coming right along. It looks great. Sorry, Kelly's over here showing me some. That looks really good. That looks really good. I'll take some pictures and send it to him. Yeah, I think he'll be super happy with that. I wish I could show you guys this, but I don't know if I can. So, I'm talking to my.
Oh, sorry,
my
I have anime in my ear.
Oh, I know you have anime in here. I already told them that you were listening to anime.
Wet it and wet that side.
Yeah, go wet it up, babe.
Spit on it real good.
No, please don't spit on it. Looks good. Looks good. Yep. Sorry, guys. I can't reveal what we were working on there. So, and this once again, I could work on this forever, but I think to show you guys what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this stuff now, and put it in front of the heater and let it dry, and then the rocks should be dry now. So what you want to do with the paint now on this kind of stuff is you want to make sure you're getting it in these cracks. And a lot of the time, watering the paint down does really help. Since we're going to do the spackle, I'm not super concerned about it. This one, I'm going to make sure I get down in the cracks. So here we go. There is absolutely no technique involved in this. It's just rubbing paint in. So I'm just kind of rubbing it to try to get it as much in the crevices as I can. Once again, since we're going to do the spackle, I'm not super concerned about getting it as deep in the cracks as I might otherwise. You're really going to make your wife watch this tonight, E, huh? Okay, bless you and bless her heart. Hey, Seuss, you're asking, how did I get into? So how did I get into making that? So let me think. That's a good question. So I used to live in Alabama, and you know, I was into the action figure collecting. I got into toy photography a little bit. I had a couple dioramas that I'd gotten from people. I was looking at the diorama scene, I guess. And I started, the first thing I was doing like DTOF backers for Transformers, Autobots, Decepticons, things like that. Made them light up and all that. And nobody was doing anything like that at the time. So I did pretty well with that. And I had somebody ask me to do like an alleyway. And I did an alleyway, and from there it was just off to the races. You know, I've kept doing the Transformers stuff. We've done all sorts of other logo stuff. I'll cheat a little bit and use my magnet to hold it. So that's kind of how we cut our teeth on it. You know, did a lot of projects in 2018, and you know, saved a lot of money and bought this X-Carve machine, and it's really just been, it's been a whirlwind, all the stuff we've got to do. But you know, it's nice to go back to the roots a little bit and, you know, work on some stuff like this. And I'm not showing you all the damn thing right now. I apologize. It's hard to, but I'm just painting stuff black. It's not very exciting. I'm pretty sure I just slung black paint on my neck. It's all right. Go wash. And once again, I will paint the backs and sides of this black. I'm just not going to do it right now for time's sake. I should have done like a cooking show on a morning, like a cooking segment on a morning show, and I already had the pie ready. I could have just showed you what it looked like. Yeah, I've got a trash can right here. Hang on. Right there. Oh, too hot. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to rotate the rocks. All right, so I am going to paint the top of this real quick, because we will get some spackle in there. Not much to see at the moment. It's just black. The rocks are almost done, so we'll be able to show you some painting on those. Looks like this is going to be a long episode. That's all right. We gonna make it. See how long it takes to paint the sides of something black? It just takes forever. And do the other side real quick. It takes so long. Glad I did that though. The angles. Okay. So I'm gonna do something to help sop up some of this paint. I'm going to get another paintbrush. That one will work. And just run a dry paintbrush over it, because all I need is a base coat. This black paint's not important. And also get any gobbed up pieces like this edge here and put a lot of paint on. All right. So there we have it. So I'm going to go stick this in front of the fire over here. All right, our rocks are done. So let me paint this base real quick, and then we'll do some painting on these rocks while we're waiting. Painting while we're waiting. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same base black on the bottom here. I always close the lid every time. I guess I'm afraid I'm gonna spill it. I don't know, just bad habits or good habits. Habits. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here, making sure we're getting into all these cracks and crevices, because this won't have spackle, although we will add some kind of after effects to it. I'll show you. Man, I'm gonna have to wash my computer. It's got paint splatter and pink foam all over it. How does the foam absorbency impact the color? I can't say that it really does. I mean, the foam is honestly, if it's a raw surface of the foam, it does not stick as well as if like you've sanded it or put some texture on it, just like painting a wall. Let's see here. All right, let me paint this last side real quick. Boy, luckily these acrylics wipe off easy, because I made a mess on my hands. All right, so I'm going to use that same technique with the dry paintbrush to knock some of the bulk of the paint off. Once again, it's a base coat, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but the priority is getting the paint into these cracks. So there is a lot in there, so I'm trying to get some of the wetness of it out, so to speak. All right, done. I'm gonna go put it in front of the fire. You have a bunch of paintbrushes.
Very dirty.
Okay. Sometimes when you're two people are working in the shop, your paintbrushes get gunked up pretty quick. So I had to find one, and I've got some smaller ones here. So I'm gonna wipe up some of this paint. All right, so black wash on your carpet. Let's hope your carpet was black. So here we are with our rocks. You can tell I got this one a little too close to the fire. I say fire, it's a freaking space heater. And it melted it a little bit, which I will tell you, you can get some cool effects with foam and a heat gun. I would suggest you do it outside. I've actually used a heat gun on foam. It actually, the propellant from spray paint actually melts foam too in a very interesting way. So if you've ever done that on accident, you know, and that's how I knew. But like a clear coat paint will melt the foam, does some pretty cool effects. So we're going to use, there's a whole bunch of colors we're going to use for this. And actually, considering we're done with the black for the moment, I'm going to wipe my tray out. Yeah, these metal trays are great. There we go. So we're going to use, well, it says pewter gray if this freaking thing would ever focus. Pewter gray. We're going to use the aptly named, my favorite name of any paint ever, Territorial Beige. And Nutmeg Brown. And do you have Antique White over there? She can't hear me. Can you bring me Antique White, please? And we're going to get, where'd that box go? Thank you. Oh, she showed her hand, everybody. So exciting. Here it is. To my dry brushing box. I'll have to make a spot right over here. I have too much stuff. Wifey, come help me. Nothing. Love you. That's how you keep them happy, boys. Tell them you love them every once in a while. Nothing. Didn't say nothing. All right, so I'm going to use this priority box as a. I'm going to use this priority box as my dry brush station for this project. All right, so we're going to start out with this pewter gray. And I normally use a paper plate or a styrofoam plate for this. But since we have these cool trays, I'm going to use these cool trays. And I'm sorry this isn't focusing today. Jeez. Focus. I'll hold it up. All right. So let's start out with one of our rocks here. Just painted black, right? That's right. Happy wife, happy life. Oh, she's not my lovely assistant. She's my my coworker. She's my partner. And she does a great job of what she does here in the Crashbox studios. So I got this brush with black paint on it. tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. Come down a little lower. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But here we are. Okay, so got our gray paint. We're going to use this brush here. Now, this dry brushing technique, you want to load your paintbrush up pretty well. I don't know why I'm trying to show the computer. And then you're going to wipe the majority of it off on your cardboard. And I guess I can bring this over here and show you guys what I'm doing. You'll get down in there too, because the paint will be down in there. All right, that's probably good. So this is the real secret to this whole thing. Man, some of these paints just smell awful, and some of them don't have any smell. It's strange. So we don't have a ton of paint on our brush. I mean, I'm painting my hand there, and it's just barely showing up, right? So we're just going to start lightly painting over this. And you can see the magic start to happen. So all those details we put in there yesterday are pulling out, right? Once again, this is not something you can mess up. It's all trial and error. It's figuring out how you want to finish your project. Now, I may have to go back with a little bit more black, just on a small brush where this battle damage happened here. Yeah, but that's really just coming right together. So shows you the difference just instantly, how much that changes it. Yes, beat the devil out of it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and knock the rest of these out with the gray real quick. And I probably still have enough on my brush just from that little bit to change the rest of this, or lose it. It's almost magical the way this stuff comes to life. Once again, this is the key to, honestly, to painting any sort of diorama. One swath of paint, I'm able to do these 4 pieces if I don't throw them across the freaking room. To add this gray, all right. So, I mean, if you wanted to stop there, you could. But we're not going to stop there. So we're going to add, next thing we're going to do is add some brown. This is nutmeg. Come on, focus. Maybe one day I'll have a camera where it makes sense. There, nutmeg brown from Apple Barrel, the Apple Barrel collection. And I am almost out of this color. I'm sure I have some more. Most of the paint's on the wife's work table now because she does a lot of the painting for us. Oh boy, we are completely out. That is a see you later on that one. Oh, look, here's another one. More nutmeg brown. Well, you got to get every penny out of these 50-cent paints, you know. All right, so using the same brush, which doesn't have much left on it, we're going to add paint. We're not going to add nearly as much as we did before, but we're just going to put it on the tip. Just going to put it on the tip. We'll get our dry brush beater board here and take the majority of it off. You might see a little bit of paint blending with the gray, but we're putting it right over the gray, so it doesn't make too terribly much difference. All right. And you don't have to cover the whole thing. You can just kind of make it splotchy. And it seems to be very, very brown, but we will relieve that as we go along here. And I'm not pressing down as hard as I was with the brown because I want to add layers and depth to this without covering up the other paint that we've done. All right. So that seems to have darkened it up a little, right? So we are now going to go with a lighter color. We're going to use this territorial beige, which I'm almost out of as well. Let's see if there's enough in here to do it. Nope. Hey, you got a territorial beige over there? You have another one of these territorial beige? Awesome. And if we don't have one, it's not the end of the world. We can use another color for sure. Oh, let me look here. We're going to use another gray as our final pass here. Yo.
Look under your feet.
Under my feet. How did you know that was down there? Okay, my wife's psychic. She saw this across the room apparently. But we are almost out of territorial beige. Oh boy, just a little bit. I got to get more territorial beige. That's my jam. Good stuff. All right, so territorial beige here. And just dip the tip of the brush in there. And wipe it all off over here. You guys know what the deal is. You don't need to see it again, I don't think. All right. Oh, yeah. There we go. Magical, right? Magical. Really starting to pull together here. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can get this where you can see all the colors there. So next we're going to go, and I said we were going to do the antique white, but we're going to add a granite gray to the mix here. And I am going to get another brush for that. Give me a second. Any brushes clean over here? Too much. Okay. All right, I got a brush. Sorry about that. Like you have anywhere to be, right? Just gonna use this white brush here. And so this is granite gray from the good folks at Apple Barn again. Man, they should put me on a contract. Did you know though that all the different kinds of paints like this you find at different places, whether it's Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, it's all the same company. Plaid makes this paint. They also make Mod Podge, if you didn't know that. Boy, that's a caked up lid on this one. We're just going to go right there. And that's way too much paint. But luckily, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. So I'm not too terribly worried about it. Okay. So just a little bit on the end there, and we're gonna wipe it off. I'm about out of room on my wiping cardboard. Somebody's gonna get a box soon, covered in paint. So I guess there's worse things in the world. All right, so this one's wiped off a whole lot. There's not a lot of paint on it. And this is really just like to pull the top highlights out. So you're not going very hard at all. See? Boy, this music is jamming. See, that kind of pulls all those colors together, but the depth is in the mixture of the colors. Sam, thanks for joining us, bud. We'll catch you later. Stay safe over there. And God bless the Queen. But not that nasty grandson of hers. So now we're going to do the antique white kind of as our top coat here. You can see what we're getting some nice colors out of this. All right, so we're going to use the same paintbrush that is essentially empty. Just load the tip of it up and wipe almost all of it off. All right. And you can mix all sorts of colors when you're doing this. I've used oranges and reds to get like more of a desert tone to stuff. All sorts of stuff you can do. Don't be afraid to experiment with colors to get what you want. Good news is, folks, the wall is dry, or appears to be dry, so we can start our Spackle project in just a minute. All right, last one. So there we go. There's our rocks. Ta-da. Big rocks, little rocks. Okay, so let's call these done for the moment and stick them out of the way. And now it's time. It's time to spackle. So let me clean up a little bit so we have room to do that. Put the brushes over here so we can wash them. Put our texture tools away, the blades away, our awls away, and most of this paint can go back here out of the way. Okay, so everything appears to be dry. Actually, this isn't dry, but we don't need that right now. But there's where we're at. So I'm gonna go stick this back in front of the heater. It's just down in the cracks a little bit. Actually, because this, guess what? It's gonna get dry brushed, and then we're gonna add some more texture to it. So we won't be messing. This doesn't get any spackle, so I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, so here's the spackle. There's a million different spackles out here. I like this one because it's dry time indicator, so it's pink when it goes on, okay? It's very, very pink. When it dries, it turns white. That's how you know it's dry. And I have a spackle knife, but I don't know where it is. I have a whole bunch of spackle knives, and I don't know where any of them are. So we're going to get dirty, just like that. Two in the pink, so to speak. There you go. And we are going to apply it to the bricks. Jeremy, I appreciate you letting me know how much you appreciate the rocks I'm slanging. It's pretty nice of you. There's also not a wrong way to do this. It does fill in some of the texture you created, but not all of it. It adds a little bit of realism. Just massage it in. You know, this looks white to you guys right now, but it's still pink. It's very pink. These lights are very deceiving on the camera. Oh, hand cramp. Now I'm using a 2-finger technique. You don't have to use 2 fingers. 2 fingers is too much for you. You can always just use 1 finger. I mean, you can use 3. You can go for the fist action if you want, but I find it best to use 2 fingers for applying the spackle. What do you think I was talking about? The majority of this is going to get wiped off, so can't mess it up. You really can't. Well, I mean, I guess you could mess it up, but we are going to spackle on the sides here a little bit. Where our broken bricks are, because there would be spackle there, right? And I might have to use a popsicle stick or something to get. Yeah, I'm going to. And guess what I have? Actually, you know what? I've got the rest of this skinny stick from earlier. I will use it. Just run some spackle right there through there. My poop knife is, you know, it's out of service at the moment. Boy, it's a deep cut. Should have never told that story. I'll never live that one down, the poop knife. All right. Pretty happy with that. I might add a little bit to the top. Okay. I'm gonna get it. Be right back. All right. So I've got a washcloth that's just damp, and we're gonna wipe a lot of this off. It just saves the trouble of trying to wipe it off once it's dry. You could also use paper towels for this if you want. They tend to tear a little bit more than not using paper towels. I'm just gonna let that dry as is. Same with that stuff on the top. So you can tell right now how it's gonna kind of look. You know, our bricks where we depressed it are a little filled in, but you can wipe those out a little bit, and you can still do weathering to this after you get done with this step. It's not hard to do that. I'm gonna give it one more slide down. All right. So that's got to dry, and it's going to be a bit. So we're going to call it for the day. Hopefully you learned something. We'll let this dry, and tomorrow we will paint the bricks. We will paint the base and weather the base a little bit, and just kind of see where this takes us. So thanks to everybody for hanging out today. Please give a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't yet, give us a subscribe and turn on your notifications, because I can't tell you when tomorrow I'll hop on here. Maybe it's probably be, I don't know, maybe 11 a.m. maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm having fun doing these. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And if you're watching, either you're you're really bored or you're enjoying this. So I appreciate it. And if you have any questions about anything, you can contact me through Crashbox Customs on social media. And stay safe tonight. Stay healthy tonight. Make sure you wash your hands 20 seconds. Get under your fingernails, you filthy animals. We'll see you later.